Hello y'all, this is Novum Vexillum, specifically Novum Vexillum Global Conflict. Novum Vexillum is a mod for Hearts of Iron 4 that takes place in the modern era and is built from the old files of another mod, Millennium Dawn. Novum Vexillum Global Conflict itself is a submod that has the aim of porting outdated Millennium Dawn submods to Novum Vexillum and continuing their support. We are going to play as the country, the state of Libya, which is ideologically socialist and is led by Muammar Gaddafi. We start with a couple national spirits, and they are African Union member and Arab League member. Let's talk about the leader of this country, Gaddafi, for a little bit. Historically, he was the de facto and controversial ruler of Libya for a few decades. He came to power in 1969 in a military coup. Libya was a monarchy before this happened, but he put an end to that and instead made the country the Libyan Arab Republic. And it should be noted that Gaddafi at this time was an Arab nationalist. Throughout the somewhat early to mid-late 1970s, he oversaw the socialist-oriented popular revolution. In the same decade, he wrote the Green Book and created the political ideology referred to as the Third International Theory, which saw both the US and the USSR as imperialist and was apparently similar to the Three Worlds Theory developed by Mao Zedong in China. All of this led to the formation of the Islamic Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya, which replaced the older Libyan Arab Republic. By the start of the 21st century, Gaddafi had become annoyed with the failings of his pan-Arab ideals, which didn't really work out like he wanted, and so he started supporting Pan-Africanism more instead. He would later die in 2011 in the First Libyan Civil War. Now for the military, we have 17 divisions in the army, 8 are motorized infantry, 5 are mechanized infantry, 3 are modern tank, and 1 is militia. As for the Air Force, we don't have a Navy, there are 11 air wings. Looking at the commanders, all we have at the moment are generals, and there are plenty of them. For the sake of pointing it out, some of these commanders are sons of Gaddafi. Beginning the focus tree, let's complete Gaddafi's path, national mining system, develop arms industry, infrastructure renovations, nuclear system, Chinese aid, and select sides. Our neighbor to the east, Egypt, takes control of the Halab Triangle by occupying it. The ownership of this location has been under dispute by the Egyptians and the Sudanese. The Russian Federation declares war on the Chechen Republic and then ends the war with the Chechen Republic. Besides that, the United States announces that they are embracing reform. Far away from us in the Caucasus region, the nations of Azerbaijan and Armenia find themselves fighting one another over Artsakh. It's November 2000. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan has begun clashing with the Republic of Uzbekistan, and George W. Bush won the U.S. presidential election. Over in East Asia, the Workers' Communist Party in Japan has come to power after a bloody revolution. A Marxist-Leninist government has been established in the land of the rising sun, and they have Ryoku as their puppet. Due to recent political developments, the Japan-U.S. alliance has come to an end. The Americans will no longer guarantee the security of the Japanese. Select sides is done, and we get an event where we can choose to support either Turkey or Syria, who are both, dealing with the very militant Kurdistan Workers' Party. Let's go with Syria because why not? Our fellow Mediterranean country, the Italian Republic, has decided to leave NATO. Who knows why? In the focus tree, let's do Great Libya and expand your territory. Since we sided with the Syrians earlier, our relations with them are improving, and we're even going to sign a non-aggression pact. In Central America, which is a few countries and an ocean away from us, the reactionary Republic of Honduras is fighting the social liberal Republic of El Salvador. Here's some more world news. Israel refuses Golan Heights negotiations, and Japan, who went communist earlier, abolishes the monarchy. Somewhere in South America, Venezuela declared war on Guyana, and other than that, the USA is going to get underway with the war on terror. In a huge reversal of what was previously the normal status quo, China and Japan, with their now more ideologically similar governments, proclaimed the start of the Sino-Japanese alliance. Expand your territory is done, and we have annexed all of Egypt, although we don't seem to have cores on their states, I think, so we will have to deal with resistance. All of the Egyptian military has been integrated into our own. This brings us technically to 71 divisions in the army. I say technically because a lot of these units are basically brigades. In the focus tree to continue our expansion, we are going to complete Strike Algeria, and that will give us a war goal on Sudan. After that, we will do Strike Algeria, the real Algeria this time, and Strike Chad. United States President George W. Bush announces Operation Enduring Freedom, and so the Americans are going into Afghanistan. We are ready to invade the Republic of the Sudan, who has a lot of manpower but a relatively small army. Libyan troops are rapidly overwhelming the Sudanese defense forces as we advance. We just have a lot of soldiers and, of course, tanks. The enemy capital has been captured. Now we're going to go for South Sudan, which at this time in history was not its own independent country. Sudan has fallen. Our next target of conquest is going to be the Socialist People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Algeria is guaranteeing the independence of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, also known as Western Sahara, but that isn't really something that's going to help them out in a war against the Algerians themselves. In some place far away from Libya, Ryukyu enacts the Ryukyu Basic Law, which will lead to more independent self-governance for them, maybe, considering that Ryukyu is a puppet of Japan, I believe. The original strategy for the Libyan invasion of Algeria is not going as planned, and that plan was to push through the desert. Well, it turns out the Sahara is a nightmare for the logistics of a modern war. Hopefully the incursion into Chad will be easier for us to handle. The second Chadian-Libyan conflict is going well compared to the first one, at least that did happen in real life, and concluded with a Toyota War that ended in an overall defeat for Libya. On an unrelated topic, I wonder if Toyota is the only company in the world to have a war named after them. Talk about branding. Chad has been integrated. Meanwhile, the push into Algeria has almost completely stopped due to the fighting conditions. Supplies are just a pain. Any progress we make in the Sahara Desert is a miracle. Needing a new way to win cause what we're doing isn't working. I remember that we got some ships from the Egyptians. We are going to use these vessels to help put together a naval invasion of Algeria. Naval superiority was established, and we are going to start flooding in troops all along the enemy coastline. We ran out of manpower, and all of our attention should be on winning this war, so I went ahead and stopped dealing with the resistance groups in other regions we control. If we don't get victory fast, Libya may have some bigger problems soon. Libya has done it. The lands of yet another country shall be added to its domain. We did have a little naval confrontation in that war. Nothing of ours was lost, but a couple Algerian submarines did get sunk. While Libya secured its grip on North Africa, another battle has been taking place somewhere else on the continent between Togo and Burkina Faso. We didn't exactly go all Pan-Africa or Pan-Arab, but I'd say we did a little bit of both, somewhat. But either way, all in all, Libya and its leader, Muammar Gaddafi, are at the forefront of this new political landscape regardless. The video is going to end here. If you enjoyed the mod, check it out in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment because it helps the algorithm recommend the video more. Have an awesome day. I'll see you later. Bye.